Welcome to Learning Reaper. I'm your host, X.E.L.O. And today I want to make a dark trap beat, so I'm going to go more on the lines of the Metro Boomin heroes and villains kind of thing. So let's get into it. All right, so here we are in Reaper. I set my tempo to 117 and I found a nice dark C minor sample. This is what it sounds like. All right, so now what I want to do is actually find another sample to kind of layer it out. I noticed that Metro Boomin does like a lot of layering of samples. He usually uses like strings, pianos, maybe bells, but mostly those three is where he'll kind of target when he's making tracks. At least that's what I heard from the album. All right, so in Reaper, I'm gonna go down here and I have this script called the MX Turner, and it has this like piano on here, so I can lock the key of any of the notes. So right now we are on a C minor, so let's lock them to C. And I'm gonna kind of go through some samples and see if I can find another sample that can layer on top of that. All right, so I did find this sample here. I'm just gonna kind of solo it so you guys can hear it. All right, and you can kind of combine them now. All right, so what I want to do is actually kind of filter this one out so that it'll fit a little bit better. And I also put this Flux Mini 2 on here, and I just put it on the actual sample here, and this is what it sounds like. All right, I'm just going to copy this re-EQ onto this other one here and just change the way it's filtered out. Let's take that one off. So I'm going to use the Yamaha Grand piano from the Keyzone Classic. This is a free VST as well. All right, so I just made a MIDI item for it. I'm gonna open up the piano roll here, and I want to go to the key snap and put it on C minor, because that is the key that this actual sample is in, C minor. All right, so I layered down the piano. I made just some dark notes in here, starting on the C1 of the piano for the Keyzone Classic, and this is what it sounds like. Right now, that's what I have with the pianos added on here, so let's add the 808. All right, so I found an 808 that I want to put in here. It's, of course, from my Smash kit. Something kind of sustaining. And I did notice that Metro Boomin doesn't really like to do like a lot of slides and different notes. He usually kind of sticks to the core and then maybe change it toward the end. So that's what I'm going to try to do in this beat here. And make sure you put on this obey note offs. That'll always help with the 808s to cut themselves off. So what I want to do for this one right here at the end, I want to kind of cut it up. So I'm going to hold down Shift and S on the keyboard, and that'll allow me to slice, make some slices in here. And I'm going to kind of ramp it up. All right, and we're just going to duplicate this over. Something real simple, kind of dark, straight to the point. When you mix it, it'll sound a whole lot better and cohesive. But let's move on to the drums. All right, so what we'll do is just lay down some basic hi-hats right now. So I'm gonna do on the C4, I'm gonna hold down Control and Alt, and it'll bring this pencil or paintbrush tool. I'm just gonna paint them across. So basically this gives me my two-step, and then I can change this to 1/16 and kind of add some notes where I know the snare will be, like right before the snare or after the snare. Usually are really good parts to kind of just add rolls for your hi-hats. So let me add the snare really quick, just so I know where they're at. And I can just go over here and go to my snare. Usually doesn't do a lot of snare rolls, just usually a snare pattern that's basic. So I'm just going to duplicate these over and kind of add an accent. So I'll add one here and I'll just lower the velocity. Just right click, highlight all of them, duplicate these over. All right, so I mean, that part laid out really simple. I can just go back to the hi-hats now. And what I want to do is kind of add like some rolls right before the snares come in at certain parts. So I'll add one here. And let's do one after this snare. All right, so what I want to do is actually kind of edit this, this hat. All right, so that sounds a little bit better. And let me actually nudge it over. So I'm going to click on this media playback offset, and I want to bring it down some so that it doesn't hit exactly where on the grid. All right. All right, so we want to place these open hats. I think we're going to put them there. I'm just going to duplicate these over. I'm going to double that one up. So I'll double this one up down here as well. All right. So I'm just going to kind of duplicate this, the 808. I'm going to bring it down to the kick. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to grab up here, Control, and drag it down. That'll bring it to the kicks. So I want to go to my kicks area. All right, so I pulled down the bass notes to the kick. So if I right click and just kind of grab all these kicks here, I can right click anywhere inside this piano roll. And I want to go to note properties, or I can hit Control F2 and it'll bring me up to my notes in the properties in here. So I want to make the length 1/16. So all the notes will be the same exact length. And I want the note to start on C3. And just hit apply. And now I have all the notes on that C3 line for the kick. I should have changed the velocity as well, but I can do that by just right clicking on here, make sure all of them are highlighted, and just bring up the velocity for all of them. Just adding a couple other kicks in here just to give it a little bit more bounce. All right, so we laid down the kicks and snares and hi-hats for the drums. The 808 is in there. A nice piano is in there as well, and the 2 samples. So we're gonna actually mix it down, and I'm gonna show you the final results. All right, so I just wanted to show you what I did to the beat. So I added a halftime. It made it a lot darker, so I went with that. I did add the flex that you did see before. And right here, at this point here, I did a reverse of this sample, just so it'll come in a little smoother when it brings back this original sample with the halftime. I did change out the 808 to one of my 808s. And I did change out the kick to the short and sweet kick. I thought it gave it a little bit more punch this way. And I added a wider to the hi-hats to make them stand out a little further on the sides. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. So here's the beat. All right, that's how you make a dark trap beat in Reaper. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I enjoyed actually making this video and showing you some of the things that I do inside of Reaper to make these type of beats. Hopefully you guys are liking and subscribing to the channel. This is still a brand new channel, so all the likes and the subs do help out tremendously. I really do thank all the people who have already subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell notification. This will let you know when I drop another video. And with that being said, that's the end of this video. And I want to thank everybody for watching, learning Reaper. Peace. Hey you, yes you. YouTube wants you to watch this video next, man. Go ahead and click it. I'll wait. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not going to keep waiting here. All right, I will see you in the next video though. Peace.